other end is south.
Physics are perfectly symmetric and relative. For every action, there's an equal and opposite behavior. Let's start with the basics. Let's start with the
end is north and the other end is south.
Relative. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Let's start with
five Platonic solids are the tetrahedron, the cube, the octahedron, the dodecahedron, and the icosahedron. One of the first things I noticed when I began to study the Platonic solids was the concept of duality. Dual polyhedra are polyhedra in which the faces of one correspond to the vertices or points of another. For instance, the tetrahedron is a self-dual, since if you turn the points into faces, you simply get another tetrahedron. In fact, all pyramids are self-duals, since they are symmetric around a single base polygon. Since all regular polygons are self-duals, all pyramids are also self-duals due to their symmetry. The octahedron, here's the smallest possible